Yeehaw, update 1.06 is finally out, and that means we get to drive Shelby Cobras. If we have 2 million credits, or whatever that translates to in your country, but whatever that translates into your country, either way, it's still a whole heck of a heap. So, well, I'm making this video to show ways to be able to get that money or money for whatever else you want. Because there's been some changes there, and there's been some other changes too that I will acknowledge that I'll try my best to help. To be honest, this update is mixed reviews, but this kind of sums up this game in general, so whatever, I'll just go ahead and get into it. As for the money, they they cut out the pit lane glitch where you could do the go into pit lane, turn around, and then it resets you where you're one lap ahead. But instead, because as far as I know, they can't fix this, the old one that I've shown in other videos, and people have shown in other videos quite a bit, still works. Pretty much I'll just go into, I'm not going to go like all the detail, just sort of general thing, because y'all will probably recognize it. If you're watching this, you probably watched another video like this. Pretty much the same thing. Go to Nürburgring 24 hour because that's the biggest one and it uses most fuel. Turn fuel to 10 times, tires to whatever, probably minimum because you can use racing super soft, AI have hards. And then turn the AI to group 1. You use an N100 so you get the most money. The group 1s run out of gas, you don't, and then you pass them all by the line. And it's the equivalent of beating group 1s in an N100, even though it's kind of a cheaty way of doing it. And you still get the 158,000 credits in the one lap, or whatever it is. The money might have changed, but it's still a whole heck of a heap in not much time. That's still the best way of doing the money now that the previous best way got fixed. So that will work. It's not that hard. I mean, you have to be relatively fast. I can generally win anywhere between like 3 seconds and 20 seconds depending on the AI, which vary actually quite a bit on NERB just because it's NERB, and with the fuel thing because if AI gets behind another AI, it affects fuel and all that. But in general, even if you finish second or third or something like that, it's still a lot of money. I don't think there's any other ways better. But just practice that. The more you practice, the more money you get and the better you get at it. So that we're pretty much remedy the money problems, because that's about 158,000-ish credits in 12-ish minutes. So do the math on that, you'll have $2 million relatively quick. So on to the next thing, and the next thing being just the online racing in general. Tips to help with that are, well, few and far in between. Because this is where this update gets iffy. The tires now have more grip. Some people say that's a good thing, some people say that's a bad thing. I say it's sort of a indifferent thing. Practice to whatever it is at the current time and just get good at it. Whatever it is, just get good at it, and then it kind of doesn't matter what it is. But for what that does to actual racing, well, it makes things quote-unquote easier. But because of that, PD decided to make it harder in a way too. Just so y'all are aware, but who aren't, if there's ever a yellow flag on the track now, and it's from a car that isn't moving, you're not allowed to pass that car. So essentially, a yellow flag is the equivalent of a red flag in NASCAR. It pretty much stops the race until the wrecked car gets going again. That's kinda stupid. We already know how iffy the penalties are in general. If somebody wrecks now in front, and it's pretty close proximity to where everyone else is, either A, that means no one's going to be able to stop in time and everyone's going to get a penalty, or B, everybody's going to stop crazily, check up, and it's going to be a ram fest, which is probably going to push some people beyond the wrecked car anyway, giving them penalties. Plus, there's going to be people ramming each other, giving them penalties as well. And while everyone's sportsmanship rating is going to go down, everyone's anger is going to go up, and it's going to be utter chaos. It's pretty much unpreventable. If somebody wrecks, it's going to completely ruin the race. So try not to wreck even more than usual, which is probably even going to create even more problems. So yeah, now that y'all are aware of that, just be very, 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 very incredibly careful of that, because about the only way to remedy this would be don't be around other cars. That means either win a race by a whole heck of a heap or lose a race by a whole heck of a heap. I recommend doing the tanking strategy that I've mentioned before. Lose a bunch of races by a whole heck of a heap, and then once you qualified on pole by a whole heck of a heap, just do that race because then you win by a whole heck of a heap, and you don't have to worry about a wrecked car because you would be ahead of all of them. That's really about the only strategy that I can think to be able to prevent this stupidity. So yeah, you're pretty much going to have to do the tanking strategy now to actually have a race be not decided by luck. That's, I mean, the strategy works. I've tested it, but still, the PD's broken the sport mode even more than it already was. But, well, whatever, folks, whatever. Tanking will work, it's just stupid that we have to do it. And money works, it's just kind of more strenuous than what we used to have to do. And at least we get to drive a Shelby Cobra. Yeah, that we could drive since Gran Turismo 2. And then we get a Batmobile car that we already have like 20 of. And then we have an LMP that we already have like 20 of. And I just want more offline mode stuff because online's so broken. But whatever, I hope this helped. This probably isn't even really worth a yeehaw. But I hope this helped.